Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Intuition on Tap. I'm your host, Heidi, intuitive life and mental health coach, energy healer, and guide for empaths, sensitives, and soulful seekers who are done shrinking and ready to rise. Today's episode is for anyone who has ever felt misunderstood, invisible, or too much. Whether you've been ghosted, gaslit, or gently tolerated, I want to offer you a reframe that just might set your heart free. So let's dive in. The empathic ache of not being understood. Let's start with the truth. Not everyone is going to understand you, and not everyone is meant to. If you're intuitive, empathic, highly sensitive, you likely have a deep inner need to connect, to be seen, to feel safe and emotionally attuned to the people around you. And that's not weakness. That, in fact, is your brilliance. But for many of us, especially those raised in environments where emotional safety wasn't consistent, the ache to be gotten can become a lifelong craving. We chase it in relationships, in friendships, in coaching containers, sometimes even in spiritual communities, hoping that someone will finally mirror us perfectly. But here's the thing though, that craving often leads to overgiving, over-explaining, or shape-shifting just to keep the peace and just to feel like we fit in with those people around us. But the consequence of this is that you end up abandoning yourself to gain approval from people who were never equipped to see your magic in the first place. Your frequency isn't for everyone, and that's okay. Let me offer you a truth that's changed, well, pretty much everything for me. Your energy, your path, your unique intuitive wiring, it's not supposed to resonate with everyone. You are not a discount candle in the bargain bin. You are a cathedral flame. Not everyone is meant to warm themselves by your light, and that's okay. Kind of think of it like tuning into a radio station. You're broadcasting at a higher frequency, and not everyone has the bandwidth or capacity to receive that signal. And guess what? That's not your fault. That's simply energetic discernment in action. That's soul selection. And that is alignment. So let's talk about soul contracts for a moment. Sometimes the people who don't understand you, perhaps the ones who doubt your path or even dismiss your inner truth, they're actually meant to. Because part of your soul's evolution is learning how to choose yourself without consensus. I'm going to repeat that, and I want you really to get that. Part of your soul evolution is learning how to choose yourself without consensus. So what that means is you don't need to have external validation to know who you are, to know that you're good enough, to know that you're valuable, to know that you're worthy. You are here to trust your own resonance, to validate your own intuitive knowing, and to stop outsourcing your worth. I might make that into a t-shirt. I don't know. This doesn't mean we isolate ourselves, though, in echo chambers. But it does mean that we stop begging the wrong people for approval. You don't need 100 people to get you. You just need one, the most important one, and that's you. So I want you to contemplate, make an inquiry into yourself. What do you do when you're misunderstood? When somebody pushes back against you or you feel that you're in an environment where you don't really fit, what happens? What do you do with yourself? Do you try and shift into fit into what everybody else is thinking and saying, what they're wearing, how they look, how they behave? Why do you think you do this? Maybe it's a good time to go to your journal and write some thoughts about that. But here are some tips and tricks of what to do actually when you are misunderstood without shrinking, because that's the key. Without changing fundamentally who you are or feeling less than. Because we all need to know how to move through this in real life. We're all going to be in different situations and environments and circumstances where not everybody's going to love us. Not everybody's going to even like us. So what do? Here are some energetic practices that you can try. So number 1, pause before explaining. Ask yourself, do I need to be understood here? Or do I need to understand myself better? Second one, witness, don't justify. Not everyone that you come across is going to be a safe landing space for your truth. And that's okay. You don't have to have consensus with the whole world. It's okay that you are a unique snowflake and you have different energetic makeup, thoughts, beliefs, desires, values, morals. It's okay. You don't need to change who you are to be okay for anyone else. The third one, redirect your energy. Instead of pouring into proving, pour into creating, healing, and thriving. It's kind of like focusing in on you and what drives you and how to be a better person for you and yourself. And then that ultimately flows out into, your community, your ecosystem, and then the wider world. And the fourth one is to anchor back into your soul self. So you can do things like meditate, journal, or connect with your higher self to reclaim your truth. Spend time with yourself every day and be truthful. I think it's an important point to note right now in this part of the podcast that this isn't about being a narcissist and it's not about being delusional, because I know that a lot of empaths and highly sensitive people, or just generally sensitive people, are always afraid of being perceived as being selfish. And so that's part of our, I guess, Achilles heel as well, is that we want to fit in. And then when we learn that that's not working for us and we want to start, I guess, focusing on healing ourselves and putting our own needs first, it feels somehow selfish. It feels like, are we a narcissist because I'm just focusing on myself? The answer is absolutely not. It's a very healthy thing to start to focus on your own needs. And like we always have heard, you have to put on your oxygen mask first before you can help anyone else. And this definitely applies in this situation and scenario. You need to focus on yourself. The other thing that I've noticed um, in my travels, working with lots and lots of empaths and highly sensitive people, is that we tend not to know ourselves very well. And I know that might sound strange, but because we're often in environments and circumstances where people are quite different, we tend to change ourselves to fit in. So if you've ever hung out with a hairdresser, you might start to think, oh, I could become a hairdresser. Or if you've ever hung out with somebody who's, I don't know, a personal trainer, oh, yeah, maybe I could be a personal trainer. You kind of start to take on the values and the skill set of the people that you surround yourself with. So number one, I want you to ask yourself, who am I surrounding myself with? Right. And is that adding value to my life, or is that really taking it away? And number 2 is, if I wasn't influenced by all of the people around me, what would I look like? Who am I? What do I want in my life? What are my dreams, goals, values, visions? Who am I? What gets me out of bed in the morning? What drives me? What opens my heart? All of these things are really important. Excuse me. Just sneeze. To understand. Oh, just releasing some energy there. So, let this be your mantra. I do not need to be universally understood to be deeply valuable. And just before we close out, I want you to think about this closing soul note and also a little bit about what's coming next. Because if this episode spoke to you, please know you are not broken. You are not too much. You are absolutely tuned in. The world needs souls like you. And even if not everyone can hear your frequency, and if you're ready to go deeper, explore your intuitive gifts, or heal the patterns of self-abandonment, I invite you to explore the offerings and courses at intuitionco.com, which is one of my sites, where you'll find tools, rituals, courses, and teachings to help you stand fully in your power. So stay tuned, because the next episode we're diving into why intuition is the ultimate skill set of an ultimate reclamation. And until then, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And with warmth and unwavering belief in your path, and please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and share it with anyone that you think might resonate with this message or find some value out of it. Until the next episode, take good care of yourself. I'm Heidi, and this has been Intuition on Tap.